Debra Paget as Lilia. Debra Paget's portrayal of Lilia, Dathan's devoted daughter, remains one of her most memorable performances. She brought a unique depth to the role, balancing innocence and inner strength amid the grandeur of the epic drama. Her delicate beauty and graceful demeanor made her a perfect fit for Lilia, a character caught up in the whirlwind of the biblical story. It was not only her performance that won over audiences, but the way she left a lasting impression, cementing her status as one of Hollywood's most beloved stars. Born in Denver, Colorado, Debra comes from a family with a deep artistic tradition. Her father, Frank Henry Griffin, was a talented painter, and her mother, Margaret Allen, had a background in stage acting. Growing up in this creative environment sparked Debra's passion for the arts at an early age. At the age of 8, Debra landed her first professional role, and by the age of 13, she was performing on stage in Shakespeare's The Merry Wives of Windsor. The family's move to Los Angeles provided her with more opportunities, and she enrolled in dance and drama classes, laying the groundwork for her eventual breakthrough in film. Her career began to take off in 1948 when she appeared in the film Noir Cry in the City. Although it was a modest debut, it paved the way for much bigger opportunities in 1950. Debra's performance in Broken Arrow, a Western, marked the beginning of her illustrious career. The film was a huge success, and her powerful portrayal of an Indian woman brought her widespread recognition. This breakthrough led to a long-term contract with 20th Century Fox, and then a series of films. Debra's exotic beauty became her trademark, often taking on roles that showcased her striking looks and elegance. In Love Me Tender, 1956, she starred opposite the legendary Elvis Presley, fueling rumors of a romance between them. While these rumors were never confirmed, the attention surrounding the pair only added to her appeal. Although her personal life is constantly the subject of media speculation, Debra has always focused on her career. Debra's personal life has been marked by several marriages, each of which has contributed its own chapter to her story. She has been married 3 times and has 1 son. Her final marriage was to Ling Chie-kung, a Chinese-American oil executive. In 1962, after their marriage, Debra retired from acting to focus on family life, and they had a son named Gregory Kung. Their marriage lasted nearly 2 decades, but they divorced in 1980. After leaving the limelight, Debra chose to live a more peaceful, private life. Now 92 years old, she devotes all her time to raising her son and living away from the Hollywood spotlight. Judith Anderson as Memnet. Judith Anderson's performance as Memnet in The 10 Commandments, 1956, remains a classic example of turning a supporting role into something much more impactful. As the scheming servant who holds the key to Moses' true identity, Anderson brought a cool authority and subtle malice to her character, with memorable lines like, "You will remember what I told you." And she added a layer of mystery and suspense to Cecil B. DeMille's monumental epic. Her presence lingered long after the scene ended, leaving a lasting impression on the audience. Born Frances Margaret Anderson on February 10, 1897 in Adelaide, South Australia, her path to fame was not an easy one. After moving to New York in 1918, Anderson pursued her acting dreams, but her early years were difficult, struggling with both poverty and health problems. Despite these obstacles, she persevered, and eventually began to receive roles with theater companies, where her undeniable talent began to shine. By the 1930s, Anderson had firmly established herself as one of the most respected stage actresses of her time. She quickly became a star on Broadway, earning critical acclaim for her brilliant portrayal of Lady Macbeth, a role she would play many times throughout her career. Her portrayal of Macbeth in the 1960 Emmy-winning television adaptation became one of her most celebrated achievements. Perhaps even more legendary was her relationship with Medea, whose Tony-winning performance in 1948 became the defining character. Anderson's move to Hollywood was no less impactful. She was nominated for an Oscar for her haunting performance as Mrs. Danvers in Alfred Hitchcock's Rebecca 1940, a role that cemented her status as one of the most memorable villains in film history. She continued to captivate audiences in films like Laura and Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, demonstrating an incredible ability to hold attention, even in the most crowded of casts. Her exceptional contributions to the arts were officially recognized in 1960, when she was appointed Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire. Anderson continued to surprise audiences later in life, appearing in the long-running television series Santa Barbara in the late 1980s, a role that earned her a Daytime Emmy nomination. At the age of 87, she made a triumphant return to the big screen in Star Trek III, The Search for Spock, 1984, playing the High Priestess, encouraged by her nephew. The return was a huge success, earning her a Saturn Award nomination. Despite her career success, Anderson's personal life was not so happy in her marriages. She married twice but never had children. Both experiences she later recalled with dry humor. Judith Anderson died on January 3, 1992, at the age of 94, shortly before her 95th birthday, of pneumonia. Her legacy lives on as one of the greatest actresses of all time, celebrated for her powerful stage presence, unforgettable film roles, and unparalleled ability to embody complex characters. Charlton Heston as Moses. Charlton Heston's portrayal of Moses in Cecil B. DeMille's The Ten Commandments, 1956, is considered one of the most iconic performances in film history. His commanding presence and the raw emotional depth he brought to the character brought the biblical leader to life in a way that had not been seen for decades. As Moses, Heston became a symbol of leadership, courage, and faith, and his performance continues to resonate with audiences today. The film itself, set against the epic backdrop of the biblical story, cemented Heston's status as one of Hollywood's most revered stars. Born John Charles Carter on October 4, 1923, in Wilmette, Illinois, Heston had a difficult but also formative childhood. When his parents divorced, he moved to St. Helens, Michigan with his mother, where he discovered a deep love of the outdoors, especially hunting and fishing. At just 10 years old, his life took a dramatic turn when his mother remarried and they moved back to Wilmette. It was while attending New Trier High School that Heston's passion for acting really took root. Active in the school's drama program, he quickly became known for his stage talent and joined the local Winnetka Community Theater, setting the stage for his future. After attending Northwestern University, Heston joined the United States Army Air Corps in 1944. He served his country with distinction as an air gunner and radio operator during World War II. After the war ended, he moved to New York City, where he worked as an art model to make a living while pursuing an acting career. He made his Broadway debut in 1948, starring in Antony and Cleopatra, and soon caught the eye of Hollywood. The following year, he played Mark Antony in the film adaptation of Julius Caesar, cementing his status as a rising star. Roles on CBS's Studio One also helped launch his Hollywood career. Heston's film career spanned over 6 decades, and he became famous for his larger-than-life roles in epic films such as Ben-Hur, 1959, for which he won the Academy Award for Best Actor, and Planet of the Apes, 1968. His portrayal of Judah Ben-Hur remains one of the most revered performances in film history. But his career also included notable roles in Soylent Green, 1973, and Touch of Evil, 1958. Heston's power and charisma defined his career, making him a beloved figure in Hollywood and an icon of the golden age of American cinema. In his personal life, Heston married his college sweetheart, Lydia Clark, in 1944. The couple had 2 children, Fraser and Holly, and were together for more than 60 years until his death in 2008. Despite facing personal challenges, Heston showed remarkable resilience. In 1998, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, which he overcame with treatment. However, in 2002, he made the heartbreaking announcement that he had Alzheimer's disease. This marked the end of his acting career and his presidency of the National Rifle Association. Charlton Heston died on April 5, 2008, at the age of 84, from complications related to pneumonia. At the time of his death, his net worth was estimated at $40 million, a testament to his lifelong dedication to his craft and his enduring legacy in Hollywood. Although he was plagued by illness in his later years, his impact on the film industry and his memorable performance as Moses in The Ten Commandments are still celebrated by fans and critics. Nina Foch as Bethia, the Egyptian princess who rescues the boy Moses from the Nile and raises him as her own son, gives a performance that is both touching and regal. Her portrayal of the compassionate princess is portrayed with grace and strength, capturing the essence of a woman torn between duty and love. One of the film's most memorable moments is her poignant line, "I will be the son of your heart." This declaration encapsulates the character's deep affection and unwavering determination, adding emotional richness to Cecil B. DeMille's grand biblical tale. Despite the film's epic set pieces, Foch's performance stands out and leaves a lasting impression, a testament to her talent. 9. Foch's artistic roots run deep. Born into a creative family, she was raised by her mother, Consuelo Flowerton, an American actress and singer, and her father, Dirk Foch, a renowned Dutch conductor and composer who had a prolific career across Europe and the United States. After her parents divorced, Foch moved with her mother to New York, where she studied piano, painting, and sculpture before eventually turning to acting. At just 19, Foch signed a contract with Columbia Pictures, marking the beginning of her career. Her first role was in The Return of the Vampire, 1943, but she was often cast in B-movies, where her performances continued to shine. Films such as I Love a Mystery, 1945, and The Dark Past, 1948, won her a loyal following. Foch also made a name for herself on stage, starring in Broadway hits such as John Loves Mary, 1947, and performing classic Shakespeare roles at the American Shakespeare Festival, further demonstrating her versatility. Foch later found a new direction in acting education. She spent 4 decades at the USC School of Cinematic Arts, nurturing the next generation of talent. Her expertise also extended to training actors and directing stage productions, leaving a lasting legacy in the worlds of theater and film. Foch's television appearances in popular series such as Murder, She Wrote, and NCIS proved her enduring appeal, cementing her status as a versatile and dedicated artist. Foch's personal life was marked by 3 marriages, including a brief one to James Lipton, host of Inside the Actors Studio. She had 1 son, Dr. Dirk de Brito, who survived her. Nina Foch died on December 5, 2008, at the age of 84, from complications of myelodysplasia. Her contributions to the arts, both as an actress and as a teacher, continue to be recognized, cementing her status as a beloved icon of Hollywood's golden age. Olive Dearing as Miriam, when thinking about the 10 Commandments, 1956. It is hard not to think of Olive Dearing's unforgettable performance as Miriam, Moses' sister. In a film known for its epic scale and dramatic moments, Dearing's performance stands out for its quiet strength and profound compassion. She transforms Miriam from a supporting character into a symbol of unwavering faith and hope, leaving a lasting impression on the audience. Her line, "He will deliver us from slavery," still resonates with audiences today, perfectly capturing the essence of Miriam's devotion and unwavering faith. Born Olive Korn on October 11, 1918, in New York City, she grew up in a family that valued creativity. Her father, Max Korn, was a dentist, but her mother, Zelda Baruchin, recognized Olive's potential and encouraged her artistic tendencies. Olive's older brother, Alfred Ryder, also pursued acting, and they both shared a passion for the stage. At age 11, Olive enrolled at the Professional Children's School, paving the way for a career that would last for decades. Her first notable stage role was in the play Girls in Uniform, 1933, where even a small role showed off her natural talent. Dearing's stage career blossomed with brilliant performances in plays such as Moss Hart's Winged Victory and Tennessee Williams' Suddenly Last Summer. Her ability to portray complex characters earned her critical acclaim and established her as a force on stage. In 1980, she reunited with her brother Alfred for a revival of Tennessee Williams' The Two character, a performance that recalled her mastery and emotional depth. While her stage career was impressive, Dearing's work in film and television further cemented her legacy. Her collaborations with DeMille, including her role in The 10 Commandments, were pivotal moments in her career. But she also made a significant mark on television. Appearing in over 200 shows, Dearing demonstrated her versatility in a variety of genres. Her performances in Perry Mason and The Alfred Hitchcock Hour were particularly memorable, as she effortlessly transitioned between suspenseful dramas and thought-provoking stories. Dearing's talents weren't limited to the screen. She was also a sought-after voice on radio, where she appeared on shows like Lone Journey and Against the Storm. Her ability to convey emotion and create vivid characters with her voice alone highlighted her incredible range of performance. Off the stage, Dearing's personal life was marked by a brief marriage to director Leo Penn in 1947, which ended in divorce. An active Democrat, she supported Adlai Stevenson in the 1952 presidential election, demonstrating her commitment to the issues of the day. Sadly, Olive Dearing's life came to an end when she died of cancer on March 22, 1986, at the age of 67. She was buried at Kensico Cemetery in Valhalla, New York. Although she had no children, her remarkable legacy lives on through her contributions to stage, film, and television, forever marking her as a beloved and talented actress. Yvonne De Carlo as Sephora. Yvonne De Carlo's portrayal of Sephora in The 10 Commandments, 1956, is one of her most iconic performances, cementing her place in film history. Portraying Moses' devoted wife, De Carlo imbued the character with strength and grace, making Sephora a memorable and pivotal figure in the epic biblical story. Her undeniable chemistry with Charlton Heston created a dynamic relationship that resonated with audiences, and their performances are still celebrated decades later. Despite her difficult childhood, Yvonne's passion for the arts blossomed at an early age. Recognizing her daughter's potential, her mother enrolled her in dance classes, laying the foundation for her future in the entertainment industry. By her teens, Yvonne's talent had caught the attention of the Vancouver performing arts community, and she trained at the BC School of Dance. In pursuit of a brighter future, Yvonne and her mother moved to Los Angeles, where she competed in beauty pageants. It was during this time that she met manager Niels Granlund, who played a key role in launching her career in Hollywood. She started out in uncredited roles, making her mark in films like Harvard, Here I Come, 1941, but it was her role in the 1945 Western Salome, where she danced, that brought her to the spotlight. De Carlo's career spanned more than 7 decades, and as she grew older, she transitioned seamlessly into character roles, proving her presence in Hollywood. In 1960, she was honored with not 1 but 2 stars on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, one for her film career and one for her contributions to television. In addition to her acting achievements, De Carlo's personal life was equally interesting. She was linked to some of Hollywood's most famous figures, including the mysterious Howard Hughes and actor Robert Stack. However, it was during the filming of Shotgun in 1955 that she met Robert Drew's stunt double, Bob Morgan. After his wife died, the two began a relationship, marrying in 1955 and having 2 sons, Bruce and Michael. Their marriage ended in divorce in 1973. In addition to her acting career, De Carlo was known for her strong political views, aligning herself with conservative figures such as Richard Nixon, Ronald Reagan, and Gerald Ford. However, it was her passion for animal rights that defined her in her later years. She became a fierce advocate for animal rights, devoting much of her time to promoting their welfare, using her platform to raise awareness of the importance of animal protection. In 1998, De Carlo suffered a mild stroke and spent her final years at the Film and Television Institute Country House and Hospital in Woodland Hills, California. She died on January 8, 2007, at the age of 84, of heart failure. Her indelible contributions to the world of entertainment ensure that she will always be remembered, not only for her talent, but also for the compassion and strength she displayed throughout her life. Yul Brynner as Rameses. What makes a performance unforgettable for Yul Brynner? It was his performance as Rameses in The 10 Commandments, 1956, a role that is still considered one of the most iconic in film history. With his piercing gaze, commanding presence and authoritative voice, Brynner brought a powerful charisma to the character that captivated audiences worldwide. His memorable line, "Write it, make it," was so full of authority and conviction that it became an unforgettable moment in cinema history. Brynner's charisma, magnetic charisma and signature bald head made him instantly recognizable in Hollywood. But Brynner's life, like the roles he played, was shrouded in mystery and intrigue. Born in Russia, Brynner often weaved an air of mystery around his origins. He sometimes even claimed to be a half-Swiss, half-Japanese man named Taiji Khan from the island of Sakhalin. However, the true story, as revealed by his son in his books Yul, The Man Who Would Be King, Empire and Odyssey, paints a different picture. Brynner was actually the son of Marusia Dmitrievna, the daughter of a Russian doctor, and Boris Yulievich Brynner, an engineer of Swiss, German and Russian descent. When Brynner's father abandoned the family, his mother moved with him and his younger sister Vera to Harbin, Manchuria, before settling in Paris in 1934. There, Brynner attended the Lycée Montcel, but soon dropped out, drawn to the world of art and performance. He found his place among the Russian gypsies of Paris, playing guitar in lively nightclubs and immersing himself deeply in cultural life. His early artistic career included an apprenticeship at the Maturins, theater, and even a brief stint as a trapeze artist with the famous Cirque d'Hiver. His passion for acting led Brynner to the United States in 1941, where he studied with the legendary Michael Chekhov. His stage debut in Twelfth Night marked the beginning of a successful career, which quickly took him to Broadway. His performance in Lute Song opposite Mary Martin attracted considerable attention, and before long, Brynner's talents were landing him leading roles in both television and film. But it was his performance as the King of Siam in The King and I that really marked his breakthrough. The role earned him both a Tony and an Oscar, making him one of the few actors to win both prestigious awards for the same role. In the 1970s, even as his health declined, Brynner returned to the stage, touring the world in The King and I. His performances were as captivating as ever, demonstrating his dedication to his craft despite the lung cancer that was ravaging his body. Near the end of his life, Brynner became a passionate advocate for the anti-smoking movement. In a courageous act, he recorded a public service announcement, warning people about the dangers of smoking, which was broadcast after his death. On October 10, 1985, Brynner died at the age of 65 from lung cancer. He was buried at the peaceful Abbey of Saint-Michel-de-Bois-Aubry in France. His legacy as one of Hollywood's most glamorous and unique stars lives on, a profound tribute to his remarkable talent and enduring appeal. Anne Baxter as Nefertiti in the 1956 film The 10 Commandments. Anne Baxter portrayed Nefertiti, the ambitious and jealous daughter of the pharaoh, in a vivid and memorable way. Her portrayal of a woman torn between love and power, combined with her intense chemistry with Charlton Heston, made this role one of the most memorable performances in Hollywood history. Directed by Cecil B. DeMille, the film became a milestone in Baxter's career, catapulting her to the top of Hollywood stars. But what was behind the glamorous on-screen persona? Who was the woman who brought this iconic character to life? Born on May 7, 1923, Anne Baxter was no stranger to creativity. The granddaughter of legendary architect Frank Lloyd Wright, she grew up surrounded by the arts. Her passion for acting blossomed early, leading her to the famous student Maria Uspenskaya. Baxter's career began on stage before moving to film with her debut role in 20 Mule Team, 1940. She soon became a contract actress for 20th Century Fox, where her talent was quickly recognized. However, it was The Razor's Edge, 1946, that truly catapulted Baxter to stardom. Her performance as Sophie MacDonald earned her both an Academy Award and a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actress, cementing her status in Hollywood. Baxter's versatility was undeniable, and she was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actress for All About Eve, 1950. Throughout her career, she worked with some of the greatest directors of the time, continually impressing with her versatility. But it was The Ten Commandments that became one of her most iconic roles, earning her a Laurel Award for Best Actress. Behind the glamorous career, Baxter's personal life was also tumultuous. She married actor John Hodiak in 1946 and had a daughter, Katrina, in 1951, but their marriage ended in 1953. Baxter took responsibility for the emotional distance that led to their divorce, and reflected on her growing up in her memoir. In the mid-1950s, she had an affair with Filippo Autelitano, a member of the Gambino crime family. Despite the scandal, Baxter continued her career, founding Baxter Birdwell Productions with media mogul Russell Birdwell. Although their ambitious film project never came to fruition, Baxter's determination to establish herself in Hollywood remained strong. In 1960, Baxter married rancher Randolph Galt, and they had 2 daughters. Their marriage ended in 1969, and Baxter recalled it in her 1976 memoir, Intermission. After her second divorce, she married stockbroker David Klee, but tragedy struck soon after when he died, leaving Baxter grieving and rebuilding her life on her own. On December 12, 1985, Anne Baxter died at the age of 62 after suffering a stroke 8 days earlier while hailing a taxi in New York City. Despite being put on life support, her family made the heartbreaking decision to cut off contact with her. Her death marked the end of an illustrious career, leaving behind a legacy that still shines in Hollywood history. As Dathan, an ambitious, power-hungry high priest, Robinson deftly combined charm and menace, demonstrating an uncanny ability to bring complexity to morally ambiguous characters. With his magnetic presence, sharp dialogue, and penetrating gaze, Robinson transformed the role into a truly compelling character, one whose ruthless drive to achieve his desires made him unforgettable. It was a performance that cemented Robinson's reputation as one of Hollywood's most dynamic actors. Born in Bucharest, Romania, Robinson's path to Hollywood was not an easy one. He immigrated to the United States at the age of 10 and settled in New York with his family. A gifted student with a deep passion for the arts, Robinson quickly realized that acting was his calling. After gaining experience on stage and in small film roles, he finally broke into Hollywood with the unforgettable role of Rico Bandello in Little Caesar, 1931. As a ruthless gangster, Robinson introduced audiences to the tough guy image that would define his career in countless films. Robinson's career spanned 5 decades and included more than 100 films and 40 Broadway plays. Although he was often cast as tough gangsters, roles that showcased his formidable presence, Robinson was also adept at portraying the multifaceted nature of crime. Whether as the cold, calculating villain in Double Indemnity or the vulnerable character in Key Largo, Robinson's performances resonated deeply with audiences, cementing his status as one of Hollywood's legendary stars. In addition to his acting career, Robinson was an outspoken advocate for social justice, particularly in his opposition to fascism and Nazism in the 1930s and 1940s. His political activism led to him testifying before the House Un-American Activities Committee during the Red Scare, although he was cleared. Despite the personal and professional pressures of the time, Robinson's career flourished and he remained a beloved figure in Hollywood. Robinson's interests extended beyond acting to a deep passion for collecting art. Beginning in the 1930s, he built one of the most impressive collections of French Impressionists in Hollywood, featuring works by such renowned artists as Renoir, Degas, Picasso, and Van Gogh. The collection became the cornerstone of his legacy, but it was not without its challenges. In the 1950s, Robinson ran into financial difficulties and took on debt to continue collecting art. His personal life was also severely affected when he lost half of his prized collection in a bitter divorce in 1956. However, Robinson's love of art and determination helped him recover many of these works in the following years. Sadly, Edward G. Robinson died on January 26, 1973, at the age of 79, after a battle with bladder cancer. After his death in 1973, part of Robinson's art collection was sold for $5 million. equivalent to about $30 million today. The auction not only highlighted his status as a film icon, but also cemented his legacy as a prominent art collector.